If you're a speech therapist, speech-language pathologist, or speech and language therapist thinking about starting your own private practice, this video will show you how you can build the business side of your practice on just one platform using HighLevel. Running a private practice business, as you will come to appreciate, involves much more than providing speech therapy. You need a professional website, a way to generate inquiries, appointment scheduling, client follow-up, reminders, payments, reputation management, and a system to track prospective clients. You could use several different platforms to do all of this, and in fact, many do. HighLevel lets you access all those services on one platform, saving you time and money. In this video, I'll take you step by step through how you can use HighLevel to build a speech therapy private practice, from attracting your first prospects to converting inquiries into booked appointments. And if you want to try HighLevel yourself, I've arranged an exclusive 30-day free trial. You'll find the link in the description and pinned comment below. Let's get started. Before we build the practice, let's quickly look at what HighLevel actually does. HighLevel is an all-in-one sales and marketing platform that brings together many of the tools a small business would otherwise need to purchase separately. Inside one platform, you can build your website and landing pages, capture leads with forms, manage prospects in a CRM, schedule appointments, automate email and SMS follow-up, collect payments, and manage your online reputation. For a speech therapy private practice, that means you can build an entire system around the client journey. Someone discovers your practice, they visit your website, they submit an inquiry, their details enter your CRM, they receive an automated response and book an initial consultation, they receive appointment reminders. Then you can continue managing appropriate communications and follow-up from the same platform. So let's look at how to build this step by step. Your first step happens before you build anything inside HighLevel. Decide exactly who your practice will serve. You could build a general speech therapy practice serving children and adults. You could also specialize. For example, you might focus on children's speech and language development, speech sound disorders, stuttering, voice therapy, adult communication difficulties, neurological rehabilitation, post-stroke communication therapy, or online speech therapy. You could also build a hybrid practice combining in-person and online appointments. The more clearly you understand your target audience, the easier it becomes to create your website and marketing. Instead of simply saying, "Welcome to ABC Speech Therapy," you might say, "We help children overcome speech and language difficulties and communicate with greater confidence." Immediately, parents know who the service is designed for. Your niche will influence everything else we're about to build. Before you start accepting clients, make sure you've satisfied the professional, legal, and regulatory requirements for running a private speech therapy practice in your location. Depending on where you operate, this could include professional registration or licensing, appropriate insurance, business registration, privacy policies, consent procedures, safeguarding policies, and clinical record-keeping requirements. There's also an important distinction to keep in mind when using HighLevel. HighLevel can manage much of the marketing and administrative side of your business, but don't automatically assume it replaces specialist clinical practice management or electronic health record software. You need to determine which information can be appropriately stored in HighLevel, based on the privacy and healthcare regulations that apply to you. For example, healthcare providers in the United States must comply with HIPAA requirements when handling protected health information. The principle is simple. Use HighLevel to help run and grow the business, while making sure your clinical systems meet the regulatory requirements of your profession and location. Now we can start building inside HighLevel. Your website is probably the central hub of your practice. It doesn't have to be very complex. Start with a homepage that immediately tells visitors who you help and what you do. Then create an About page explaining your qualifications, experience, and approach to therapy. Next, create individual pages for your main services, for example, children's speech therapy, speech and language assessments, stuttering therapy, adult speech therapy, online speech therapy, and parent consultations. You should also create a frequently asked questions page. This is particularly important for healthcare services because prospective clients usually have lots of questions before contacting someone. They may want to know, how much does speech therapy cost? How long does an appointment last? Do I need a referral? Do you offer online appointments? What happens during the first assessment? And how many sessions might be required? Answering these questions helps build trust before someone ever contacts you. Finally, every important page should have a clear call to action. Something like, book an initial consultation, or request a speech therapy assessment. That takes us to the next part of the system. Not everyone who discovers your website will be ready to book immediately. Imagine a parent searching Google because they're concerned their 3-year-old isn't speaking as much as expected. They may not be ready to pay for an assessment. They're just looking for information. So instead of losing that visitor, offer them something useful. For example, you could create a guide titled 7 Signs Your Child May Benefit from a Speech and Language Assessment. You can offer this guide for free in exchange for an email address. For this, you need a landing page and a form. You can build both inside HighLevel. Your funnel might then look like this. Someone discovers your content, visits your landing page, downloads your guide after leaving their email address, and enters your HighLevel CRM. You will send them helpful educational emails, and when they're ready, you invite them to book a consultation. Instead of expecting every website visitor to become a client immediately, you're building a relationship first, and hope they buy later after establishing some trust. Next, create a pipeline inside the HighLevel CRM. This allows you to see exactly where each prospective client is in their journey. Your pipeline could look something like this: new inquiry, contacted, consultation booked, assessment booked, therapy started, ongoing client, and completed. Now imagine 5 people contact your practice this week. Without a CRM, those inquiries might be sitting in your email inbox, contact forms, or text messages. It's easy for someone to get forgotten. With your pipeline, you can immediately see which prospects need attention. Having a pipeline becomes increasingly valuable as your practice and clients grow. One of the easiest ways to reduce administration is to allow appropriate appointments to be booked online. HighLevel includes calendar and appointment scheduling tools. You might create separate calendars for different types of appointments. For example, a 15-minute discovery call, an initial consultation, a speech and language assessment, an online consultation, or a follow-up appointment. You decide when you're available, and prospective clients can choose a time that works for you. Then you just put your booking link on your website, landing pages, and in appropriate emails. This eliminates much of the back and forth involved in trying to find an appointment time that works for everyone. Once someone books an appointment, HighLevel workflows can handle much of the repetitive communication. For example, when an appointment is booked, send an immediate confirmation. Then, send another reminder 48 hours before the appointment. You might send another reminder on the day of the appointment. Afterward, trigger the appropriate follow-up. The exact communications you use will depend on your practice and local privacy requirements. The principle is more important. You create the workflow once, and HighLevel runs it whenever the relevant trigger occurs. That means less repetitive administration for you. Now let's look at one of the biggest opportunities possible with HighLevel. Let's say someone visits your website and submits an inquiry. What happens next? If you're busy with clients, you might not see that inquiry for several hours. With HighLevel, you can create a workflow that responds immediately. The prospect could receive an email confirming that you've received their inquiry. Where appropriate and with the necessary permissions, they could also receive an SMS. You could then provide useful information explaining what happens during an initial consultation or assessment. And if they haven't booked after a suitable period has passed, you can send an appropriate follow-up. This means you are not bombarding prospective clients with marketing messages. Instead, you're creating a professional system so genuine inquiries are not lost. Another simple automation that could be extremely useful for a solo speech therapist is the missed call text back. So, imagine you're in a therapy session and your phone rings. You can't answer. The caller doesn't leave a voicemail. Instead, they contact another practice. HighLevel's missed call text back feature can help you respond automatically when you miss a call. Your message could say something like, "Thanks for contacting ABC Speech Therapy. We're currently unable to answer the phone. You can request an initial consultation using the link below." Now the prospective client has an immediate next step even though you couldn't answer the phone. For a small private practice where you're simultaneously the therapist and business owner, automations like this can make a significant difference. Depending on how your practice operates, you may also want clients to pay when booking certain appointments. HighLevel provides payment tools that can be connected to your booking process. For example, someone could select an initial consultation, choose an available time, and make the required payment. They then automatically receive confirmation and reminders, so the patient journey will be like this: choose the service, book the appointment, make payment, receive confirmation, attend the appointment. That can reduce another layer of manual administration. Remember the people who downloaded your free guide but haven't booked an appointment? They will need some nurturing. Create an educational email sequence inside HighLevel. The emails should answer genuine questions prospective clients are already asking. For example, when should a child start talking? What happens during a speech and language assessment? What's the difference between a speech delay and a language delay? Can speech therapy be provided online? How can parents support communication development at home? These emails aren't simply advertisements. You're demonstrating your expertise and helping potential clients understand their options. Then, where appropriate, include a simple call to action inviting them to arrange a consultation. Create searchable content that helps you build a long-term client acquisition strategy. People search Google and YouTube every day for speech therapy questions. So, create content around those searches. For example, does my child need speech therapy? At what age should a child speak clearly? How much does private speech therapy cost? What happens during a speech therapy assessment? Does online speech therapy work? How long does speech therapy take? What causes speech delay in children? Each article or video becomes another opportunity for someone to discover your practice. But don't stop at generating traffic. Connect the content to your HighLevel system. Someone watches your video, they click through to your website and download your free guide. They enter your CRM and receive your educational emails. Eventually, they may book a consultation. That's how content becomes part of your client acquisition system rather than simply something you publish and hope people see. Reviews can be particularly powerful for local service businesses. Prospective clients often research several providers before making contact. HighLevel includes reputation management tools that can help automate feedback and review requests. At an appropriate point in your client journey, you can prompt a feedback request. Since you're operating in healthcare, always follow the professional requirements that apply to your practice and protect patient confidentiality. The goal is to make it easier for appropriate clients to provide genuine feedback and not to pressure anyone into leaving a positive review. Once you start marketing your practice, you need to understand which channels actually generate business. Clients could be finding you through Google, your YouTube videos, or Facebook. Professional referrals could be your main source. You can track those leads through your HighLevel CRM. This allows you to look beyond website traffic and social media views, and track which marketing channels are actually generating qualified inquiries, consultations, and paying clients. This allows you to invest more time and money into the channels that are producing results. Let's bring everything together. A prospective client discovers your practice through Google, YouTube, social media, advertising, or a referral. They visit your HighLevel website or landing page. They read about your services or consume some educational content. They may submit an inquiry or download your free resource or book a consultation. Their information enters your CRM. Your automated workflow responds. They book an appointment. They receive confirmation and reminders. Where appropriate, they make payment online. They attend their assessment or consultation, and you continue to manage the appropriate administrative communication throughout their journey. This way you have a complete system. You are providing the specialist services, while HighLevel helps you build the marketing and administrative infrastructure around your expertise. HighLevel can potentially manage a significant part of the business side of your private practice. This includes your website, landing pages, lead generation, CRM, appointment scheduling, email, SMS, automations, payments, reputation management, and marketing. Depending on your location and the services you provide, you may still require specialist clinical software for medical records, clinical documentation, insurance billing, or other regulated functions. So think about HighLevel primarily as the platform that helps you attract prospects, manage inquiries, convert them into appointments, and automate repetitive business processes. That alone could eliminate the need for several separate marketing tools. Starting a speech therapy private practice gives you the opportunity to build a business around your clinical expertise. You should think beyond client acquisition and aim to build a sustainable system. This is a system designed to attract the right clients, captures inquiries, follow up on those inquiries, book appointments, reduce repetitive administrative tasks, and continue working as your practice grows. This is what HighLevel brings to the table. Remember that you don't need to build everything on day one. Start with your website, create your CRM pipeline and add your booking calendar, then set up your basic follow-up and appointment reminders. Then gradually add lead generation funnels, email campaigns, content marketing, and reputation management. The objective is simple. You want to spend less time managing your business manually, so you have more time with your clients. If you'd like to build your speech therapy private practice with HighLevel, you can start with my exclusive 30-day free trial of HighLevel. That's longer than the standard trial and gives you time to explore the platform, build your website, create your CRM, set up your calendars, and start putting your automations together. Click my exclusive HighLevel link in the description or pinned comment to start your 30-day free trial. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to the channel because I'll be publishing more step-by-step videos showing you how to use HighLevel to build and automate different types of businesses. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.